Hi everyone, welcome to Lola's Frugal Life. This is episode number 22. Today's going to be a cleaning with me episode. I'm going to be doing my weekend, weekly home blessing hours, what Fly Lady calls it. It's just kind of like the chores that I have to do on the weekend. So I'm going to take you along with me after a few short words from our sponsor. Thank you so much. So today I was going to try and take you along with me on my chores that I do Saturday morning. I am just kind of sitting here, or I've been sitting here, not being able to get moving. So, do you ever have one of those days where you just kind of are like, yeah, I gotta do this, and you're not moving? I was staring at my phone, I was scrolling on Facebook. So I'm sorry, there is going to be some noise because I want to try and do this with you. I'm hoping to motivate you and motivate myself at the same time to keep myself moving, because if I'm trying to talk you through keeping moving, then I need to keep moving myself. But anyway, so I was just sitting there and I'm like, I feel like lately, because the time just seems unlimited at home, even though I have to work and cook dinner and everything else. With right now I'm recording this during the coronavirus pandemic, so we all are still staying home. It's like the beginning of May, and for some reason I just feel like, because I'm mostly home, I have this no deadline. I could just basically have unlimited time to get things done, and I'm not getting things done enough because I feel like there's no deadline. For some reason, there's just something about having a deadline that helps you get things done. I don't know why. I guess it's like a motivating factor. But so I'm trying to get myself moving on doing my chores that I have to do, that I usually try and do on Saturday morning. So the first thing that I always do is clean our guinea pig cage, and I'm just went downstairs to get the shavings and everything to do this, and my daughters are being super loud. So I'm hoping that I can actually record this without you hearing them shouting in the background. They're teenagers, but they're just being super loud this morning. They're usually still sleeping by now. I have to put my dogs outside real quick. Dogs have to go out when I do the guinea pig cage. Don't want any accidents, and I take the guinea pigs out and put them in a little laundry basket while I clean their cage. So yeah, my daughters are shouting in the background. I hope you can't hear them. But anyway, so I was thinking that once I do get moving, which I am right now, I usually get off to a really good start. Sorry, I had to pause it because one of my daughters started yelling to me. She thought I was talking to her and was yelling, "What?" And I was like, "What?" So anyway, I just had to pause that for a second. And I know there was a lot of background noise. I think that was just because I was opening a garbage bag to do the guinea pig cage. So I'm hoping that I can keep the background noise to a minimum. But it is really hard to clean and be quiet. So I'm trying, and I'm hoping that it's tolerable. So basically right now I'm just taking my guinea pigs out of the cage. So anyway, I think what I was saying though is that I find when I first start, I have this really, really good routine. First thing I do is do my guinea pig cage. So I'm okay, it's time to go. And I get up, I go downstairs, I grab the shavings, I grab the garbage bag, I grab a laundry basket, because I put them in a little laundry basket to sit in while I'm cleaning. And I have this perfect routine, and I just bang right through it. And then I'm for some reason, once I get done with that, well, first I do the dishes when I get up, and then I do the guinea pig cage. But it's kind of I have my iced coffee, I do the dishes, and here I am with the garbage bag again. I'm so sorry. I'm just opening it now. It's probably going to be really loud. Okay. So, oh, by the way, here's a frugal tip. I'm doing the guinea pig cage, and I'm grabbing my paper towels that I use for the guinea pig cage. And my kids think this is really gross, but I don't. It saves a ton of money. Oh, here comes one of my daughters looking at me like I'm crazy. When I do the guinea pig cage, I use paper towels that my kids have like left behind, which have nothing on them. Like they'll literally like take a whole paper towel and there'll be like a droplet of water on the counter, and they'll just like wipe that droplet of water on the counter and then just like leave the paper towel there. So there's literally nothing on the paper towel but like a tiny bit of wetness. So I save them and I use them to clean the guinea pig cage, because I'm like, who cares? I'm cleaning poop with it. Like, why like waste all those paper towels? And I literally never use a brand new paper towel to clean the guinea pig cage, because it's like I never need to, because I save so many of these paper towels that like aren't really even used, that would just otherwise get thrown in the garbage. Or like there'll be like a tiny spill and they'll like grab a paper towel, and I swear it must roll for like 4 or 5 pieces, and then they just kind of like leave it laying there on the counter. So I just like save them when I see them laying around. Instead of just grabbing this big chunk of paper towels and throwing it in the garbage, I just stick them like under the sink in this little container that I have, and I save them. And then when it's time to clean the guinea pig cage, I just go under there and I grab them out and I use them. And it doesn't seem like much, but I mean, if you think of all the paper towels I'd be using every single week when I clean the cage, it actually does save money. But yeah, my kids think it's totally gross. I think it's totally smart, because like I said, I'm cleaning a guinea pig cage. It's not like I'm using it to like wipe my face or something or clean the house. So anyway, yeah, so like I was saying, I think it's super important to have kind of like a routine of what you're doing and the order you're doing it, because it seems to make it easier to just keep moving when you don't really have to think about what's next. And I find that I have like this super good routine with doing the dishes, doing the guinea pig cage. Then I move on to doing my fish bowl, because once the sink is empty, then I do the fish bowl. Because it's easy with the clean sink, I can just like dump out the water I need to dump out and stuff like that. But then it's like time to do things like mop. I usually mop like one room like per week. I alternate on the kitchen, and then I alternate my living room and family room. You're probably thinking most people probably mop every week, I guess, but I just don't. I just don't. It's something that I can't stand to do. And I don't know, it seems fine. It seems clean enough for me when I do it the way I do it. Obviously, if there's like a spill or something looks gross on the floor, I'll just mop it up. I mean, I'll just like wipe it up with a paper towel or something. But anyway, those things, mopping and doing other things that I have like on my list that I have to do every week, like I'm supposed to do 15 minutes of decluttering. I have that on like my weekly to-do list. I just kind of sometimes can't get into it, so I'm trying to get motivated to do that stuff. And I do have like an app where I have a list and I check it off, and usually checking things off motivates me like crazy. But I don't know, lately I just find like I'm having a hard time like getting going. It's definitely something to do with not having like or feeling like I don't have a time limit. I really do have a time limit, because on Monday, even though I'm home, I do have to work. And in my job, it's actually even busier now with everything going on with the coronavirus, because I'm in finance. So I'm doing all kinds of projections and everything related to the impact this is having on my company that I work for. So it's not like I'm not busy, but it's just something about like being home so much. It just makes you feel like you don't have that much of a deadline. So anyway, I know this is getting really loud, so I'm going to pause while I'm doing the guinea pig cage, and then I'll come back in a second. All right, so by the time I pause the episode, I probably already made all the loud, noisy parts of cleaning the bottom of the guinea pig cage, but now I'm just kind of putting their shavings in, and I'm going to put them back in a second. So anyway, what I'm going to try and do today to keep myself going is try and just keep moving, because I feel like sometimes I try and like take a break, and then I don't get back to it. Like I'll be like, oh, I'm just going to sit and like check my bank account real quick, or like look at Facebook, or just, I don't know, like whatever. You just kind of sit for a minute, and then I have been finding it hard to get back. So I'm going to try and keep myself moving, and maybe with you guys listening, I can motivate you to keep moving. So anyway, I'm just finishing up the guinea pig cage here. I know this is not probably what most of you guys are doing, but you could be working on whatever first thing you usually like to do in the morning. So, it's funny, before this, I was putting away clothes. That's another thing. I used to I was in a really good habit of, like, every time I had a load of laundry to do, I would stick a load in at night, like before I went to bed. I would stick in a load of laundry, and then I'd set it on like the delay wash, so that in the morning when I would get up, before I would get in the shower, I would stick it in the dryer, and then like before I was ready to leave for work, it was already done. I would take it out and fold it, and then I would like put it away at night. And I was in like a really good habit of doing that. But again, once this pandemic happened, all my routines were just like, oh, whatever. So I got out of the habit. So I had to do like 2 loads of laundry yesterday, and to get caught up, because I'm only doing laundry for me and my husband, because my kids are teenagers and they do their own, and or they're supposed to do their own. I don't know how they ever have any clean clothes, honestly, because I never see them doing laundry. But I feel like that's their problem. They're old enough to know how to do their laundry, and they do know how to do their laundry. And if they want clean clothes and they want to look nice to go somewhere, they can do a load themselves. I used to make them have a certain day that they were supposed to do it. But it was just like a nightmare, because I would be like, did you do your laundry? Did you do your laundry? I can't put mine in because the other one, didn't take it out of the washing machine yet. And then, it was just this constant nightmare. And I was just like, why am I doing this? They know how to do their laundry. If they want clean clothes, they can do their laundry. So that's where we're at. So I don't know when and if they ever do it, but whatever. So anyway, I did my laundry yesterday, and so I was folding laundry. I was putting away laundry when I first got up this morning. But one thing I do that I really like is one of the books that I listen to the Marie Kondo book, and I watch the show occasionally. And I don't fully agree with all the talking to the clothes and all that kind of stuff, but the one thing I really loved is the way she folds the shirts. And I don't know if I'm quite doing it right, but however I'm doing it is working really well. My husband has a lot of t-shirts, and he wears t-shirts all the time. So I started folding his shirts using my version of her method, where they're kind of folded in a file, so that you see all the shirts at once. And it really helps a lot, so that it's not like the new shirts always go on top, and then the ones at the bottom kind of never get used. You just keep using the same ones. With this way, oh shoot, I just realized my hair tie fell out, and it's sitting in the guinea pig cage. I'm taking that out. Sorry, I saw this blue thing in the guinea pig cage. I'm like, what the heck is that? And then I realized my hair is hanging. My hair tie fell out. I always like to try and put my hair back when I'm cleaning, because I have long hair, and it's so annoying and gross when your hair is hanging when you're trying to clean and do stuff. So anyway, all right, so I finished my guinea pig cage. So the next thing I got to do is take care of my fish. So whatever you guys have to do, try and keep moving along with whatever's on your list to do next. I'm moving dishes out of the sink right now, because even though I did all the dishes this morning, as I was walking around the house, I ended up finding more that missed when I did the dishes. So I stuck them in the sink, so I have to move them out of the way so I can take care of the fish. So anyway, I'm going to take care of the fish now. I do a partial water change each week for him. I have a betta fish. He lives on my kitchen counter, right next to the sink. So So I'm going to take care of him now. But anyway, in one of the episodes, I was talking about, I did like a frugal tip of the week in one of my like budgeting type episodes. And it was on the Libby app. It's like the app that you can download like books from your library for, with your library card for free. It's one of my favorite things this year that I found out about. And anyway, so I was listening to the Harry Potter book series because we had gone to Universal Studios a couple years ago, and I had, up until that point, I know most people probably think this is crazy, but I had never really watched any of the Harry Potter movies or read the books or anything. Sorry, I am going to have to turn on water occasionally. So it's a little bit difficult to do this, but I'm hoping that by doing it with you, you don't mind the sounds, and the motivation to keep moving along will be worth the having to deal with all these background noises. I don't have any fancy recording equipment, so I'm sure my microphone is picking up these noises way too loudly. But anyway, I had never really listened to the stories and stuff. So before we had gone to Universal, I watched like the 3 movies, the first 3. I don't know if there's more after that. I still don't really fully have the whole thing down. But anyway, I listened to, we had watched the 3 movies before we went to the park, before our vacation. And so like I became like an instant Harry Potter fan, because like when I go to a theme park or something like that, I always get into it. Like, I love the whole Universal Studios Harry Potter area and all that kind of stuff. So then I had kind of forgotten about it. Like after our trip, I kind of didn't really, continue on with the movies or anything like that. But then with the Libby app, I was like, oh, you know what? I usually listen to like nonfiction books, or like, I don't know, I like listening to like the different cleaning books and like the budgeting, finance books and all that kind of stuff. Trying to quietly dump out the fish water, but I'm sure this is loud. I'm sorry. Anyway, so I was listening to the second Harry. So I decided to, for fun, start to listen to the Harry Potter series so I could kind of get back into it again. So I was on the second book, Chamber of Secrets, and I had about not even an hour left in the book. And I'm going to pause this while I'm doing the fish water, because I know this part's going to be really loud while I'm cleaning the rocks. So I'm going to pause this and then come back, because I know there's going to be noise, but I don't want to have like as much of this really loud noise if possible. So I will be right back. All right, so I'm back. There was no way I could clean that fish bowl and clean all the rocks in the bottom and everything without making a huge amount of noise. So anyway, I was saying, I was listening to the Harry Potter book series, and I'm on the second one. I was listening to Chamber of Secrets. And I was like less than an hour left in the book. And I had another book, too, that I had loaned from the library through the app, too, called Rich Dad, Poor Dad. But that was like a Kindle book, like that I had to actually like physically read, not like an audiobook. The Harry Potter one was an audiobook. So the Rich Dad, Poor Dad, I was about 50% through the book, and there was no way I could finish reading it in time before it was due, because you get it for like 14 days. So I was trying to finish reading it, and I was just like, you know what, it's due tomorrow. There's no possible way I can finish this book. And usually you can renew a book, but I couldn't renew it because if there's too many people waiting to read the book, it won't let you renew it. So I could put a hold on it and listen to it again when it becomes available again. And so that's what I decided to do, because it wasn't like the kind of book that you really had to read like, straight through. It's kind of like each chapter kind of stands on its own. It's a book, that book, Rich Dad, Poor Dad, it's a pretty good book related to like, finance, budgeting type stuff, or not really budgeting, but just kind of like your financial mindset. And it's a book about this guy who wound up becoming really wealthy, and he talks about what he learned from, he calls it his rich dad and his poor dad. His rich dad was actually his friend's dad, who was uneducated but really financially successful with businesses and everything. And he kind of took him under his wing and like taught him all this stuff about finances as he was growing up. And then his poor dad was his real dad, who was actually highly educated, had a really good job, but always struggled with finance. So it's just kind of interesting. It's a book kind of telling you the different perspectives on what they taught, how they each approached money and dealing with it, and the different perspectives. Anyway, there's no way I could finish reading it, so I decided, you know what, I'm just going to return the book. So I go into the app to return the book, and for some reason I was having a hard time, like it wasn't responding. So I got out, I went back in, and then I didn't realize I accidentally went into the Chamber of Secrets book, the audio book, and I clicked return early. And the second I clicked return early, I was like, no! I did not want to return that book early. I was so close to finishing listening to it. And the reason why I was so upset is because I knew there was a long wait on that book. I had already waited like weeks just to get it. So anyway, I returned the book early. There's no way I can finish it until I put it back on a waiting list, but I think it's like, I don't even know, maybe 5 to 6 weeks or something wait. So it was just kind of funny. I mean, it wasn't funny. I was so upset, but it's just kind of so stupid how you can just click a button and then just make such a stupid, annoying mistake. But anyway, so I finished my pets so far. Guinea pigs are taken care of and my fish is taken care of. So then I always just kind of look in my list. At some point I'd like to just memorize this so I could just keep banging through. But I'm going to look at my list and see what I have to do next. So I'm sure you kind of have in your mind the things that you want to get done. So let's see. Oops, I never even reset this from last week. I keep a list on my phone in my File Lady app, and it's called like the weekly home blessing hour, and that's like the list of everything that I have to get done each week. Just like the general, like I have to take care of the guinea pig cage, I have to do the fish water, I have to water my plants. I think I'm going to do that next. I'm letting my dogs back in because they were outside when I was doing the guinea pig cage. So I actually have to grab a ladder. Hopefully this isn't loud. I have plants. Oh God, this is definitely loud. Sorry. I have plants that hang like from like skylights in my family room. So I actually have to get a ladder from outside to water them each week. So I usually do guinea pig cage, fish bowl, and then the plants. Once I do those things, I'm like, that's where I start to struggle. Because those things have to get done. Like have to. Because all the living things, my guinea pigs, my fish, and the plants have to get taken care of. Then the rest of it is where I start to struggle because I'm like, you just I get distracted. I don't know if you guys do, but I get totally distracted. And that's when I start to struggle. Oh, my daughter's coming back in. Oh, no, she's not. She let one of the other dogs in. We have 2 little dogs, and they love to be outside if she's outside. My 17-year-old loves to go outside and just like swing for hours. And it's not even that nice out today. It's beautiful, like as far as it's sunny, but it's like freezing out. It's the beginning of May, and it's like 36 degrees or something like that. But anyway, she was outside. So the dogs love to go outside when she's out there. So I guess one of them was still out there with her. I didn't realize. So I'm just watering the plants right now. What I'm going to do next is I have like one of those little vacuum robot things. And I'm going to start running that. And I'll like block off a room and just let it run in that room. That way I can make sure everything's picked up before it starts. Okay, so sorry, I had to pause because my daughter was coming in and I had to talk to her for a minute. But anyway, I was saying, so I have this like one of those robot vacuums, and it's like the Shark, I think it's called like iRobot or whatever. I won it from my company Christmas party. I don't know if I've said that before on previous episodes, but it's not something I would have bought for myself because we're on like a real strict plan, like paying off debt and everything. So pretty much every extra dollar we have goes to debt. So a robot vacuum wouldn't be on the list of things to buy right now. But we're on like a serious like debt-free plan and like never want debt again ever, and it's like super exciting. I really love it. But Anyway, I wouldn't have bought a robot at this time. But I always say, when we're rich, when we're rich, kind of as a joke. But anyway, when we're rich, maybe I would have bought it, but not right now. But anyhow, since I want it, I love it. And what I'll do is right now I'm just clearing my living room. Not my living room, my family room. I'm like picking up everything off the floor. Like I'm picking up my kids' shoes, socks. These are teenagers, by the way. You think they could pick up their stuff by now, but no. So I'm picking up everything, and then I'm gonna get that vacuum running in my family room. And at first what I was doing was I would let it run in my family room, then my kitchen, and then my living room. And I would wait until the room that I was going to mop was done being vacuumed by it so that I could then mop the room. But then I felt like I was just kind of waiting to mop until the vacuum thing's done going, because I let it go for a while because it really does pick up like all this like little dust and everything, and it just like goes around and around, so you have to like wait for it to kind of go through the whole room. So I would just like wait, and then I was like, by the time it was done, I didn't feel like doing the mopping or whatever. So now what I decided is the one room that I'm going to mop that week, I won't use the vacuum thing on. I'll just sweep that room, and then I'll let the vacuum run on the other two rooms. So that's working out pretty good. So I actually have to check my app, my list here, to see what room I'm supposed to be vacuuming. I mean, not vacuuming, mopping this week. Because how I set it up was that I have it by like first, second, third, and fourth Saturday of the month. That way I could just look to see what's on my plan. So let's see. When you hear this, it'll be Sunday, but I'm recording this on a Saturday. So this is the second Saturday of the month. So second Saturday of the month means I'm mopping the kitchen. So once I get this running in my family room, I'm going to sweep the kitchen and then mop that room. So that's what I'm going to work on next. So let me just... I have to throw out a bag of garbage and stuff. I know that's going to be loud. I'm going to try and wait on that. I'm just going to bring my stuff from the guinea pig cage, put it away, and then I have like this like Home Depot bucket that I use to bring the shavings up. So I'm just going to bring that back downstairs. And my Instant Pot happened to be sitting by the door, so I'm bringing that to put away too. I keep that in the basement, my Instant Pot, because it's kind of big. And I just keep it on like a shelf in the basement, and then I will just grab it whenever I'm going to use it. I used it the other night to make this Instant Pot, oh my gosh, what's it called? Pork tenderloin. It was so good. It was like so good. It came out so perfect, and it was so easy. You just basically use like the saute feature in the Instant Pot, and you saute the pork tenderloins for like 5 minutes on each side, and then you put like chicken broth in the bottom. Well, you're supposed to put chicken broth. I just put water because I was being lazy, but you put chicken broth in the bottom, and then you put it on, you do it for like, I think it said like a minute, because it's already like mostly cooked when you were sauteing it for 5 minutes on each side. And you put it on pressure for 1 minute, and it takes, however long to get up to pressure. And then it's done. I did wind up actually having to put it on for another minute or two because mine wasn't cooked enough. But anyway, it came out so delicious. And then with like the water and like the drippings from like the meat, you make like a little gravy real quick when it's done with like some cornstarch and water. And it came out like really good. So I'm definitely gonna keep that in my meal rotation. And that actually wasn't even technically in this week's meal plan, because what happened was when I went to the food store to buy the stuff for my meals, they didn't have like some of the stuff that I needed because of all the craziness in the grocery stores right now. And I'm sure like you guys are experiencing too, you can't always get like what you were planning on getting. So I needed like chicken breast and they didn't have it. So I wound up just getting the pork tenderloin because they had that. And I was like, all right, well, I'm going to get whatever they have. And I wasn't really sure what I was going to do with it. So then I decided to look up an Instant Pot recipe because I was like, oh, that would probably be really good, like pressure cooked. And it really was. So anyway, that's that. So I am just going to get this vacuum going. I'm still picking up stuff because I sat down for a minute to take a break. I'm picking up like school papers and things like that my kids have because they're doing school at home right now. We just found out that our schools will be it's going to be like for the rest of the school year at this point. So my kids have all their school stuff. And another thing I have to do, which I actually usually try and do first, is I try and wipe down my couches because the kids got like crumbs and stuff, even though they're not allowed to eat in the family room. But real quick, so I kind of like wipe it onto the floor so that when the vacuum comes around, it'll just pick up the crumbs. And I seem to be missing one of my couch pillows here, which is weird. It's like, where does the pillow go? I don't see it under the couches. I don't know, it's just gone. One of the kids must have brought it into their rooms. So, all right, what else? Oh, so I was doing here's a box of chocolate covered raisins. Does anybody else have this happen? Like, who eats a box of chocolate covered raisins and just shoves the box in the couch? So, anyway, when I got up this morning, I was doing my checking, like reconciliation, downloading my credit card charges, all that kind of stuff. And I was thinking, it's literally like my favorite thing to do. Like, I look forward to Saturday morning to do that. I love updating my budget and everything. So, am I the only person that's like that? I'm sure I'm not. I actually was listening to a podcast one day and heard this woman saying how she loves budgeting so much, and I'm like, oh my gosh, someone else like me. Most people I talk to about how much I love working on the budget, or even like having a budget, there's so many people that don't even have a budget. They'll just kind of like look at me like I'm crazy. But anyway, so that was like the first thing I did this morning. I actually started it last night. I don't normally start it on like Friday night, but I decided to just kind of do that last night and then finish it this morning. So we actually had a fire going last night. Like I said, it's May. It's the second Saturday of May. We had a fire going last night because it was so cold out. So we had a fire burning in our wood burning stove. I think that was the last couple of days we've burned more fires than we have in the past, the past winter. So anyway, hopefully you keep moving along. All right, so I have the vacuum running in that room. I'm hoping that we're not gonna be able to hear it because I have it like in the family room, but my living room, my kitchen is right next to it, and that's what I need to work on now because I'm gonna sweep the kitchen and then I'm gonna mop the kitchen. And this room, this is one of those things that I always procrastinate on. Like, this is the point where I usually wind up sitting down and getting stuck and not moving forward when I have to mop the kitchen because it's so annoying to like move all the chairs. I have to find like a better way to do this. So I was reading this article on like cleaning motivation the other day. I'm gonna go get my mop now. And it was talking about like, setting a timer and things like that, which I've tried some of those things. I had like, setting a timer, giving yourself a reward when you're done. I usually try and like start with a reward, but like get like a nice coffee, or some mornings I'll even do like I'll do like a smoothie breakfast. So I'll make like a really good smoothie, and I'll like walk around and like drink the smoothie while I'm cleaning. But put on some good music, listen to a podcast. But sometimes it's just, I don't know, I just have trouble keeping moving once I hit a certain point. And I was thinking, when I started doing this like Saturday morning like routine that I call, that's like the Fly Lady calls like the weekly home blessing hour. I do it on Saturday morning. And I don't know if it's really an hour. I don't know how long it takes me actually. A lot of times I don't even fully finish everything that was on the list. But anyway, why I started doing this is because I was thinking, this one time we were having a party and I had to get up and like kind of finish getting everything done in the house for the party. And I got up early and I just worked like crazy. And by like 11 o'clock, I had everything done and the party wasn't starting till 2. And I just sat there and I was like, why can't I do this on a normal weekend? I just did all this work. The house looks great. And it's only 11 o'clock on a Saturday. And I'm completely done. So like, what is my problem on a regular Saturday? So I was like, you know what? For now on, I'm going to start at like 7 o'clock because I get up early anyway. I'm going to start at 7 o'clock and I'm just going to like go crazy, get everything done before lunchtime, and then be done for the weekend. Because I have other routines that I do during the week, like to get the bathroom done and cleaning out the fridge and other things like that. Uh-oh, something got stuck in my vacuum. Okay, so that's like a perfect example of why the floors need to be picked up first before the vacuum runs, and I didn't even see that. But there was like one of those little like cables that it looks like, it's like for a phone, it's like a phone charger cable. It's like the wire that you plug into the block and then the other part goes into your phone. I guess I didn't realize that one of the kids left one laying on the floor and the vacuum picked it up, so it started making this really crazy noise. But thankfully the vacuum will stop itself if that happens, so then you can like take it out. But it didn't actually, normally it stops itself. It didn't actually stop itself. I don't know if it knew it had it, but it was like dragging it, so it was making this really horrible noise, so I had to take that out. But anyway, so I don't remember what I was saying, but anyway, I'm trying to keep myself moving, and I'm hoping that by keeping myself moving, it'll help you guys keep moving. So like I said, this is the part that always is the hardest for me, is doing the kitchen floor for some reason. I don't know if that's the same for anyone else, but I'm sure you have something that you just kind of are like, oh, I got to do that, and then it's difficult to get moving. So, I forgot to turn my vacuum back on. But anyway, sorry for all the noise, but I'm trying to do this in real life, so things are happening while I'm doing this. So I'm moving the dog bowls. Spilling water everywhere. To move the dog bowls out of the kitchen so I can mop the floors. Anyway, I hope you guys, if you have a chance, you check out the Facebook page, because I'm really hoping, like, this is still a new podcast, so I know there's no one on there yet. There's no one in the listener group yet, and no one liked my Facebook page yet, but I'll be so excited when someone does, because I'm really hoping that over time we can build like a group of people to talk about the type of stuff. There's got to be that I like to talk about. I feel like there's got to be other people out there somewhere that like the types of things, like, finding better cleaning routines and different ways to manage your money better, sticking to a budget, frugal tips, things like that. So anyway, the Facebook page is facebook.com/Lola's Frugal Life, and it's all one word, no apostrophe. Or if you want to join the listeners group, it's facebook.com/groups/Lola's Frugal Life. And that'd be really awesome. I'd like to get some feedback. I don't know if you guys like hearing me actually cleaning. Maybe it's too annoying with the background sounds, but I don't really know. I love listening to people clean. I watch YouTube videos. I have a bunch of people I like to watch on YouTube. I actually watch them clean while I'm on the treadmill in the morning, which I know is weird, but it's still motivating. Even if you're not actually cleaning while you're watching it, it kind of makes you like think like, oh yeah, I'm going to do that, you know, when I'm done, or when it's time to get cleaning, I'm going to like work on that or do a better job or make sure I get everything done this week. So I really love watching them. Ow. So anyway, I also had some ideas for some frugal topics. Like, I definitely want to do an episode on mindset, because I think that like your mindset regarding finances is such a huge part of getting yourself to where you want to be with your financial goals. It's so important. And I was thinking maybe I could do that periodically. I mean, I don't want to keep talking about the same thing, but I feel like it's always good to have like a reminder just to kind of think about your mindset, because it's like, what I mean by that is, I think that a lot of people in our country, I'm in the U.S. when I'm recording this, and I know some people are actually listening in the U.K., which is super exciting to me. But anyway, you know, I'm sure all over the world is probably the same thing, but it's like we grow up kind of taught like you have to be in debt, like that's just normal, and you know, you're never gonna get ahead, and you know, people put themselves in these so much debt just like to have like, you know, fancy vacations or fancy car, or like going out to these fancy meals and fancy wine and all this kind of stuff. And it's just like, you can be so much happier without all that stuff. I mean, if you can afford it, that's great. But if you have debt and like you're going out to dinner and going on these vacations, and like, I don't know, maybe it's just me, but that doesn't make me happy. I'm so much happier if I'm trying to meet a goal and I just be happy with what I have and not keep wanting more and needing more. You know, like if you need a new car, people just are like, all right, well, go get a car loan and get a new car. And it's like, well, you don't have to do that. You can get a perfectly good used car, like really used car, for like pretty inexpensive. And if you have savings saved up by not having been in debt and not always buying new cars, you probably can even just buy it cash. So anyway, that's kind of like a whole mindset thing, and I don't know why I just started getting off on that, but I'm sweeping my floor right now, getting ready to mop. So this is actually helping me. I hope it's helping you guys, because normally by now I would have probably sat down for a break, and I feel like, because I'm talking to you, I have to keep moving. I'm trying to encourage you to keep moving. I can't just sit down and not do this. So anyway, though, the reason I'm doing this is because I just feel like the things that I like to talk about, like these finance things and the cleaning, like, I don't know, productivity, I guess. It's kind of like just home productivity, but just like keeping yourself motivated and having like good routines in place so you don't feel like you're just constantly like not having a plan on how to get things done, and you always feel like you're not sure if you got everything done that you needed to. I just love talking about those things, and not many people that I know really like it. So I thought it would be good to have a group of people to share these conversations with and keep myself motivated and hopefully keep you motivated. And so far it's working. So I hope you guys like this. So anyway, I'm about to mop the floor, and then I think I'm just going to probably end the episode here, because I feel like you probably have gotten a decent amount done so far. I know I got a bunch of stuff done already, and I'm going to, what I used to mop the floor is one of those like steam mops, and it's like a shark steam mop, but it's really old, and I think I need a new one. because it doesn't seem to like steam that well anymore, but it does clean good. But sometimes like I don't feel like enough water is coming out. So anyway, oh shoot, I forgot to bring up the little thing. Oh no, I didn't. This is like this little thing that you use to like put the water in it. So I'm gonna just fill this with water, get the steam going, and then I'm gonna actually get my kitchen floor mopped. And then the only other major things I am gonna have to do today is I have to do sheets. I do like my sheets and my husband's sheets. Hello. Mine and my husband's sheets and my daughter's on one weekend. No, I do our sheets and my son's one weekend, and then the alternate weekend I do my daughter. So I'm doing like 2 sets of sheets each weekend on like a rotation, and that's been working so far. So I have to do that today, and then I'm supposed to do 15 minutes of decluttering, and I always get hung up on that. That's definitely a spot where I get hung up because it's not concrete. I feel like the things that aren't concrete is where I really get held up on like getting them done, because it's like, okay, I have to do 15 minutes of decluttering. Okay, where should I start? Not that I have a very cluttery house, it's just like normal, you wind up accumulating things, and there's definitely some spots in the basement that I'd like to kind of like go through, reorganize. But it's like, if you don't have like specifically what you're gonna work on or what you're gonna go through, I find like I get hung up and I'm just like, do I really have to do that now? So I really do want to try and do that though. Sometimes I'll even just do something like, if I have like bill paperwork, like that's actually something I have like a vet bill for my horses that I need to file downstairs in my file cabinet where I keep like the pet bills. Now my dogs are barking like crazy. Oh, that's so annoying. With everybody being around now, so many people are walking, and they just constantly bark whenever people walk past our house. So, but anyway, I have to file some bills away, and I know it's not decluttering, but if I have bills that have to be filed or insurance paperwork that has to be filed, and I haven't done it yet, and I take the time to go and do that, sometimes I'll give myself credit for decluttering, because even though it's not really decluttering, it kind of clears the space that I'm working on, or it clears space in the kitchen, like where I keep my bills in like this bill folder. So sometimes I'll be like, okay, well, I didn't actually like get rid of anything, which is what decluttering actually is, but at least I like will give myself credit for going through that stuff and like getting it put away. And I realized I was standing in the family room where the vacuum is going back and forth, so that probably wasn't the best idea. You probably were hearing that. But anyway, so I have to do the 15 minutes of decluttering. I'm going to try and do something on that. And then I'm supposed to do 15 more minutes at least of my zone cleaning. And I had a separate episode where I tell you what the zone cleaning tasks are. So usually like if I get going on that, I'll keep moving because I love to check things off. So I have like my list in my File Lady app where I check the things off. So anyway, so that's where I'm at. Again, don't forget facebook.com/Lola's Frugal Life. I would love, love, love to hear some feedback from you. You could send me a message through there, or you could post something on the page. You could also join the listeners group. That's at facebook.com/Lola's Frugal Life. No, I'm sorry. The group is facebook.com/groups/Lola's Frugal Life. No apostrophe, all one word. And you can join the listeners group. You might be the first one, but that's okay. Hopefully we'll get more people on there. I'd love to hear from you. So thank you so much for listening. I really hope this was helpful to you. I'd love to hear if it was or not, so we know if I should keep doing these episodes. And if you could subscribe too, that would be really awesome. I don't think I have any subscribers yet. I know that people have listened, because on the app where I record this, it shows me that like I've gotten a few listens here and there. So people are definitely starting to listen. But if you subscribe, that would be super exciting and awesome. And that's it for today. I hope you got a lot done. I hope this was motivating to you, and have an awesome day. Thanks. Bye.